about to bring in our next panel. And I know that there's a special person that's going to help you co-host, of course, someone that actually I go back 20 years with this individual, literally. And of course, I'm talking about Goldie. And many people know her from her days as a national television presenter. Many people know her from her column at the LA Tribune, the shows that she produces. You might see her on tour with the Goldilocks Band. We're really honored to have her a part of our team here. I'm excited. But Goldie, when I bring you on, don't start like diminishing my compliments for you. I'm going to pull you back out if you start doing that, okay? Accept it and receive the compliments, or else I'm pulling you out. Okay, so thank you, because you're
Wow.
just humble. Thank you, Goldie. I know you. I know your instincts. Okay, but it's an honor and a pleasure to have you here with us. I love you. We appreciate you. We all love you. And Goldie, Natalie, I just want to ask you guys, how excited are you for our next panel? Starting with you, Natalie, please.
I'm so excited. You know me. We're playing this excited game. No, in this instance, I can say I'm really anticipating a wonderful conversation because we're going to bring up two more amazing, powerful, strong women.
Mhm.
And we'll dive deep, I assume, because we can ask the questions, and they will share insights with us that are probably going to be very, very thought provoking. And it's all in line with the psychology of women and women stepping into their power. So I can't wait.
Absolutely. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Lenee and Kim. And this is going to be a real powerful, unique conversation. Let me position this properly. See, Lenee and Kim are both very holistic minded. They have a holistic approach to helping people. Kim Lee has worked with some of the top spiritual masters of this world. And Kim is a dear friend, and she has such a magnificent way of healing people's hearts. In fact, Kim, I want you to share the story of that incredible woman who gave a testimonial about your work, the woman who could not walk before you healed her heart. And Lenee, of course, is the first African American cheerleading captain for a NFL team, and just a remarkable soul and a remarkable spirit. She's also a columnist at the Los Angeles Tribune, and I'm excited because I also know Lenee has a real holistic approach. So I'm going to sit back. I'm going to take notes. Natalie, I was going to bring Rex in to help navigate as well. But you mentioned that you want this to be an all women panel. Do I have
No,
permission
no,
to
no,
bring
no.
Rex in?
Bring in the guy. We like
Okay, let's
guys.
bring in Rex. So I'm going to sit back and we're going to navigate the conversation. Go ahead, Natalie.
Awesome. And as we've done before, thank you, Rex, for joining us. You're in our midst. We love you. Um, I want to give each of you the floor very briefly, just so you can talk a little bit about what does winning mean to you. You've noticed that's what we've been doing because we're talking about the psychology of winning, especially the new psychology of winning. So, what do you think about when you hear winning? What do you understand winning to be? I think is really, really important in this context. So, if I may, I'm going to throw it first at Lenee, and then just take a couple of minutes and tell us what your thoughts, and then we'll go over to Kim.
Absolutely, my pleasure. I feel like I'm coming home with our dear Los Angeles Tribune family. As Mo graciously said, and as well as Dr. Natalie, I'm Lenee Cook Braxton, a senior columnist with the Los Angeles Tribune. I also own a company called Holistic Performance Center, wherein we specialize in integrative sports psychology, mind body medicine, and combining embodiment with the mind and the body. We work with everyone from athletes to dancers, ballerinas, actors, as well as those with special limitations. Winning to me means being embodied and at peace with oneself. And I'll repeat that again because winning mindset means being embodied and at peace with oneself. And I say that because this morning at the wellness center where I work with people and see clients as well as take care of my own mind body wellness, I was speaking with a woman who had a stroke and has been, as she calls, sick for about 3 years. She is so beautiful. She was working out on the weight machines, but actually could not speak or walk and was still cognitively having trouble putting words and sounds together. What I know for sure is that she was winning. To be able to be in that wellness center by herself and to actually know how to change the weights on the machines, as well as walk and talk and introduce herself to me, that is winning. I think society has it a bit wrong as far as winning. We typically place winning on monetary value or materialistic gain, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. When we think of law of attraction and abundance, nothing wrong with that at all. But I encourage us to think of something a little bit deeper. Embodiment, the mind and the body as one, as well as being in a state of flow, I truly believe is true winning. Thank you all so much for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
Woo!
I'm on mute. I'm on mute. Of course I am. Thank you, Lenee. You made me speechless, obviously. Kim, what are your initial thoughts on winning, the new psychology on winning? Please, you share a little bit with us as well.
Thank you, Nali. I appreciate to being here with all of you. So thank you, Lenee, for your share. My name is Kim Lee. I am the Master Heart Healer. I help my students, clients to heal their heart from betrayal, from grief, from depression. That's what I do. And I'm grateful to be able to live my dream. I want to share just a little bit of why I call myself the Master Heart Healer. When I was 3 years old, I was born and raised in Vietnam. At 3 years old, I saw the suffering within the family, within the people around me. And my prayer was, God, I think you make mistake. Take me home. I don't belong here because you make me too small. I cannot help people around me. Move forward. I was a boat people came to America. I was in extremely toxic relationship. When I have my awakening, I heal my heart. I have the courage to end that relationship. I'm grateful for that. So from that heart healing, I developed the 7-step Heal Your Heart and Thrive. That's how I serve my students and clients. And the new psychology of winning, what does it mean to me? It means from the depth of my soul, heart, mind, body, spirit in harmony, in unity, from that place of peace, peace from within me, peace around me, with self love, self respect. This is the energy that I serve from the internal foundation of heart, mind, unity. So I can have that love, compassion for me. And from this place of love, from the power of love, that I help to grace others to heal. So the story Mo was invited me to share is really touched my soul deeply because this clients of mine, we was at the retreat together, actually as friend of mine, I graced her. We was at the business retreat together and I didn't know that she had problem with walking and she been stay at the hotel, for 3 days. And the last day she showed up in the class. And I've been graced my friend to heal many of them. And she came to me, she said, "Are you Kim Lee?" I said, "Yes." "You must heal me because my friend told me that you are a great healer. I need to walk in order to fly back to Canada." So I said, "No problem." So when the class is, we have a little break. So in that space, this is my gift about the master heart healer. I see the heart of the problem. So when I look into her blueprint, I heard her mom saying that you cannot be a powerful woman, you be healed. So therefore, the fear that her mom, her ancestor blueprint imprint within her heart that she cannot be successful as a business owner. She cannot be seeing her. So I said, is it true that your mom, your ancestor tell you not to be so loud? You be in danger. She was shocked. She said, how do you know? I said, I just heard the information. Is it true or not? She said, yes, it's true. Is it okay? I can release it for you. She have not walked for almost a decade. The doctor gave up on her. They said, you be like this. You have physical imbalance, nothing we can do about it. You be living like this for the rest of your life. So when I saw the heartache in her, she gave me the permission to release this blueprint. Within just 10 minutes, I released the hairball in her heart. And she feel the shift within her. She feel lightness in her. She's like, Kim, can I stand up now? I said, no, no, let me seal that. So in that space, I just put her in the golden light and she stand up, she walk. It's been 2.5 years. That lady is still walking. She shocked her doctor. When she went to the visit, next month, she went to the office, she danced, she go, da, 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 look at me. The doctor said, what happened? She said, I found my healer. She helped me heal. So that I share with a humble heart. In the new psychology of winning here is about the power of love. When you truly love yourself and love the other person in front of you, in that space of stillness, God will use you to grace whoever that in front of you have a prayer within their higher heart. So for me, the deep psychology of winning here is the power of love.
Wow. That is, both of you are talking about love and about healing. And it's interesting because I had a conversation with a friend just the other day. She was telling me about her daughter and where doctors had been trying to figure out what's wrong with her, what's wrong with her. And then it turns out she needs healing of the heart. A traumatic experience when she was small. That is so important. The healing part, not in the sense that we're broken, which we've talked about, but that there is some kind of trauma, obviously. So thank you for sharing that, both of you. That is very powerful and inspiring. And I see Goldie leaning forward, so I'm not sure if Goldie has a question.
I'm
She's
just
like,
chilling.
in here. You're all good. All right. Well, let me ask you, ladies. We've talked about body, mind, and soul. We've talked about the power of love. How do you suggest people refind? And I'm focusing on the refine because when we're born, we have it. Refine, regain the love for themselves. Lenee, you want to take it first?
Yes. Oh, I'm just, I'm sitting with that for a moment, Dr.
Mhm.
Natalie, because you always have some good ones. You do. Such thought provoking. I'm still actually buzzing energetically, have chills from beautiful Kim's story. Kim, everything about you radiates light. Your soul shines, and thank you so much for the way you show up
Yeah.
on this earth. I'm honored to be here with you, and thank you, Mo, for having me also, and dear Rex and beautiful Goldie and Dr. Natalie. Sitting with that for just a moment, Dr. Natalie, I have to say, in connecting, it's very important for us to recalibrate. And what I mean by recalibrating is that with everything going on in the world, a lot of times energetically we can absorb things from other beings. And it allows us to be disconnected or to dissociate from our heart and our mind and our body. And so to recalibrate using a variety of tools from meditation to Reiki energy healing, to working with gifted souls like Kim or like Rex or like Goldie. Maybe, it's more important to work on physicality. Or Natalie, I know you have programs and courses that you work with people with. What I tend to do, because I work intuitively with my clients, and what I mean by that is I simply serve as a vessel. And I know that a true healer is not healing the other person. We are simply serving as vessels to allow the healing to move through us. to be used as a being here on earth. So, what I do is sit there and see how I can be used and how the healing is channeled through me. Now, what happens is that sometimes it allows me to not necessarily feel whole myself. So again, to recalibrate and to pour back into myself energetically, I usually go inward because what I'm noticing is that the more in tune I become with where I am vibrationally, I'm seeing more mirrors of things within myself that need to be healed. And that can be very humbling because it requires us to remove ego from the process. And sometimes the ego gets in the way and there are blocks. So, what I do is really sit and go inward and ask myself, what is ego? What is the story that's being told that may not be true? Or what is really the truth right now? And how can that be something that's used as an opportunity to heal and to connect my head and heart? And
Yeah.
it just seems to come together, knowing that it is beyond me, simply here as a vessel.
Absolutely. It sort of reminds me of what Parisa was saying earlier when she was saying, what am I making this worth right now? What am I creating versus going inward? Kim, how would you, or how do you, not how would you, but how do you advise your clients to refine that self love?
Yeah, it's very simple, it's very easy. See, if we can think of the breath that we're breathing in, breathing out, that is divine love. That is the life force. So we are loving the others easily. We give love easily. Sometimes we have problem receiving love. So normally I would advise my student is to breathe. Just breathe deeply. All you have to do is a little ritual that I do. When they close the ring finger and the thumb together and breathe. And as they're breathing in, close their eyes and affirm that I'm calling my power back. All the love that I give to others, I'm going to suspend that. I'm going to bring that love home to myself, to the breath I'm breathing. So as you're breathing in the breath, the life force, we're breathing in that divine love. And then with exhalation, we release whatever inside of us. So when we are breathing in that place and remember we are love, we are light. So from that place of remembering, see in nature, when you step out in the ocean, in the tree, there's only love. If we can recognize that we are living in the field of love and release all those wrong label in terms of fear, doubt, judgment, disease, just let it go and be in the present moment and empty everything there is. It's not a true essence. I love this sharing from one of my mentor, Glenn Morshower. He said when David carved that um, Michelangelo carving David, he only carving the thing that belonged to David. Everything is in their true essence. So for us to return to love, loving ourselves is breathing that divine love, release all everything else that's not love. So that's how I normally share with my students that simple practice. Just return to oneness at this moment, right here, right now. And I want to share this quote from my teacher, Tanya Khan. See, in true love, this is his quote. You want to love in a way the person you love feels safe in your presence. You want to love in a way the person that you've been with that feels safe in your presence.
I think that is very powerful. Thank you. And it goes back to the idea of you're the gift, be present.
Yes, Yes.
I love what you ladies have been sharing, and we can see in the audience the same thing because we're talking about deep healing. And if you have not been watching me moderate sometimes, here comes a different kind of question. Because we're so deep right now, that I also want to make sure that we address a question that I believe might be in the audience. We're so deep, we're talking about breathing, we're talking about meditation. I do all of those, I'm a big proponent of those. Do we also sometimes just need rock music and go to a concert and dance?
Yes. And that's what I was speaking of as far as the physicality, Dr. Natalie. Sometimes for some people, it may just be getting to the gym or taking to a walk outside and really being embodied in your physical being and not getting too deep with it. Because a lot of us, we go where we're ready to go and there are no coincidences. And so moving in the spirit of universal love and moving from a place of head and heart thoughts and combining the mind and body together, that may be where we are at that moment. That may be it. And so dancing it out to rock music or a dance party in your bathroom or house may be where you are at that moment. And then as you grow, maybe it goes a little deeper. Or maybe the deepness for you is simply shaking. In a mind body spirit integration course that I teach for Saybrook University to new doctoral students, we actually go through a somatic experiencing exercise where we simply shake. And so much comes out of everyone. And there's some people that when they're first shaking, they may shake a hand or something and feel kind of embarrassed. But all of a sudden, they're not thinking about who's watching them and they're simply releasing, simply releasing.
Wow. Hey, can I ask a question here? Because I occupy a unique space at the moment. I'm surrounded by four incredible women, and I wanted to ask each of you, from where do you draw your strength or your nourishment, the love that we've been talking about? How do you allow that to rise from within you and to move outward? I'd love to start with Goldie. I mean,
Oh,
Goldie's
Rex, you're so cute.
moderating, but I'd love to start with Goldie at this moment. So,
That's sweet. And we've got Mark here that made a great comment. And um, as soon as you take that off for just 1 second, take the banner off on the bottom for the person that's blind. Thank you. Kim Lee, you're just adorable. Like, it just
Thank
absolutely.
you.
I can't wait to read more about you. And I was going to say, I'm trying to remember, is it Chi Dep Guy or Chi Dep M?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
She beautiful. Thank you. How
okay,
do you
yeah,
live in Vietnamese?
I know a lot of Vietnamese. I absolutely love it, and, like, your English is beautiful and your Vietnamese, I'm sure I'd love to hear you speak, and I'm honored to be on this panel, and Rex and Dr. Forrest, and she hates it when I say doctor, but Mo is gonna come get you if you get mad about that, and Brenda was saying something really cool that I was getting ready to talk about Rex, and now we're moving on to another thing. Lenee, I like what you said about you feel like you're home with your family, just really in good company. Rex, say your question one more time. I want to hear you say it one more time.
where do you draw your strength, your love, your balance from?
There's so much of this that can intertwine, Dr. Forrest. So you're asking great questions, and Rex, you're asking great. That is a great question. I draw from, like Lenee was saying, that she reflects inward. I'm totally the opposite, and I'm an introvert. People wouldn't think that. Um, I'm just a old fashioned college coach, muppety blonde, get out there, Nike slogan, just do it. Like, I draw from literally forcing myself to go outside and connect with other people. And whether it be through music and live shows or just walking into a supermarket and radiating love and joy, I was having a horrible day on Dr. Forrest's show a few weeks ago. And I'm like, I'm going to get on there anyway. And it's like, I just ram it, force it, just absolutely force what I need to do. I don't even think about it. I jump out of the nest. I don't care. I have not landed on my feet gracefully, Rex, so many times. I have been bankrupt. I've lost everything that I've had. And the more you do that and the more you exercise like absolute complete just despair, and then you realize I got back up. I'm okay. I got in that plane crash metaphorically, and I'm okay. The more that the bad things happen to you, just like when Brenda was saying, triggers don't have to be like, she's like, there's good triggers like a baby or a little kid and you smile, or there's bad triggers. Like, don't be afraid of like the bad triggers. Use all that as fuel. And it was Dennis Whaley that was just saying, like, you don't know what's good until shiznit hits the fan. Like, you don't know the sweet until you know the sour. And I really find my reset, my strength from just going out and being aware of other people. Like, if you're just, things are bad for you, or you're not feeling good, or you feel like you're off, or the last couple of years, so many people, even successful, beautiful people that I look up to and I'm inspired by, they've just felt like there's just something wrong, and they're not doing what they want to do, and they're not who they want to be. And these are, again, the leaders that are out there. We all have crappy days. Like, go out and talk to somebody else. My favorite is like the waiters. At a waiter the other day, and it was this young kid just bopping around, and you could tell he had really bad ADHD or something was cooking. And I kind of asked him about it in a nice way. Again, this is how I reset. I talk to other people, and he lit up like a firecracker. He couldn't wait to tell me that he used to be in the kitchen, but now he's out here where he can be all over the place and be helping customers because he couldn't be concentrated in the back. And then we talked about, like, what are you going to do with your life? And he's going to raise reptiles. Never heard this before in my life. And all of a sudden, being sucked into the joy of this reptile man, this young kid gonna breed lizards, I forgot about my own stuff, and I'm in this world of euphoria and happiness because I felt somebody else's joy, and that was my drug. So that's how I reset, and that's where I pull from, is other people, other surroundings. And that, obviously, that doesn't work necessarily for Lenee every time. You know, she's like, I reflect on inward. I get sick of myself inward. I want to hear some Baby June, Mo. I want to get out there and feel the music and feel the vibration. So that's what works for me.
Well, I want to hear Kiss, and it's a pleasure and privilege to listen to you all. And we're getting ready to wrap up this panel, but what we're going to do is we're going to give the floor to Lenee and Kim to just 2 minutes or less share some final words that you want to share with our audience. Lenee, please.
Thanks, Rex.
Thanks, Rex, for that question. And Goldie, you're so right. We are yin and yang, or yin and yang. And the reality is, there is an opposite force, and everything is in balance and equanimity. And we have to find what works for us. So, my final thought is, find your way, whatever that means. As long as it's through the flow of universal love, we're always winning. It may sound cliche, but it really is true. Vibrationally, we are winning. If you're in flow and you're moving through life, being gentle with yourself, even if it's getting out there and being all over the place, still being gentle with yourself and knowing that you're not going to get it right every single time. You just really, really are in flow and moving through with universal love. And with that, I love you all. And I'm so happy to be here with you.
Thank you,
So
Lenee.
much.
Kim, final thoughts you want to share with our audience, 2 minutes or less, please.
Thank you. I want to thank you, Goldie. I thank you, Lenee, and all the panel. The final thought is to know who you are. Just reflect and on who I am. What are my value? What do I want? If you can draw the 3 column and find your voice in this space, and of course, we are dancing between internal, external force. So the yin and yang, I love that aspect of the energy dancing between yin and the yang, the water and the fire. So when you know your rhythm and follow that rhythm to nurture your body, your heart, your mind, your soul. So in terms of nurturing me, as Rick asked that question, it's very simple. I ask myself, what am I hungry for? Physically, if I need to dance, just listen to internal whisper within me, my intuition. Whatever that is, I follow through that. So you can do the same. So from this space, just be kind, be loving, be compassionate toward yourself, and put that reset button of forgiving yourself, reset, clear your slate, and now you can rewrite your history. This is Kim Lee, the Master Heart Healer. I'm so grateful for being here. And thank you, Dennis Waitley, and everybody here. I am forever grateful. Thank you.
Mute, mute, mute. You're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Oh wow,
You're
wow!
speechless.
I wanted to thank you, Lenee, and thank you, Kim. We're going to transition out to the next segment of the program, but the two of you really added such a holistic, powerful touch. Kim really is one of the world's foremost leaders when it comes to heart healing. I don't know exactly what that means, Kim. Okay, I don't know how it works, but I know there's something to it. Okay, and so I wanted to thank you, Kim. I know enough to know what I don't know. And I think it's important for us all to appreciate that, the great mystery, whatever it is. And it's also important to remember, if you come across someone that acts like they have the hidden secret mystery and that they know something that you don't know, that's for me a red flag. But when I hear a teacher speak with the great mystery, those are the teachers I resonate with. The Tao, Kim, as you know, opens up by saying something along the lines of, the Tao that has a name is not the Tao, right? Or the Tao that can be spoken of is not the Tao. And so when we explain things or sometimes we come across people that say, this is the truth, follow me for the truth. That's a big red flag. The Tao that can be spoken of is not the Tao. And so I appreciate you, Kim, for having that holistic approach, and appreciate you, Lenee. We're going to go to our next segment now, and let's do a quick recap. General thoughts, Rex, from you before we move on.
We have talked about a lot of different concepts during the time that we've been here, and one concept that has been brought home today in this panel was the yin and yang, the inside, the outside, the within and the without, and that there are different ways to get balanced or express yourself or to love or to feel fulfilled or to renew and refresh and recharge, and that there is no one way, going along with the way that what you just said, the Tao that can be spoken is not the real Tao. There's universal truth, but it is expressed in so many different ways, just as there are a multitude of plants and animals and a variety of species. And so all of it's valuable. The fact that we do it is what's important. And I loved what each and every one of our guests and panelists have said today.
Thank you so much, Rex. And Goldie, how do you feel so far about what you've experienced here with us?
I totally agree with what Rex just said. And the psychology of winning to me, Mo, Dr. Forrest, Rex, is just acceptance of yourself, acceptance of other people. And with that, exactly reiterated what Rex was saying, is realizing that there are so many different ways to do something. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. If your way seems so different than somebody else's, your way might work like gold for you. So that's great. Like self-acceptance, you're being cool in your own skin, even when you're looking at the Joneses and the other side of the fence, it looks so different, maybe better. You know what works for you, and relish in that.
You're absolutely right, Goldie.